So OnePlus, you may have heard of them, have just launched their first pair of premium True Wireless Earbuds, the OnePlus Buds Pro, which are available to pre-order right here in the UK right now for 139 quid. Thus making them cheaper than rivals from Apple, Samsung and Sony, although not quite as affordable as those new Nothing earbuds. And I've been testing them out for the past week or so ahead of the global release to see if they're actually worthy of that asking price. So here's my full in-depth OnePlus Buds Pro review, and for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So first up, this is the glossy white version of the OnePlus Buds Pro, but you can also pick them up in matte black if you want something a bit more moody, a bit more Batman. They're nice and compact and light, weighing just over 4 grams each. You got 3 different sizes of rubbery tip bundled there in the box along with the buds, just to help keep them firmly lodged in your own particular lug holes. And there's even a handy little tool on the app that you can download as well, which allows you to measure your own ear orifices and just make sure that you've got the right size tip for you. And the OnePlus Buds Pro come with IP55 protection as well, so they can get very moist indeed. No worries if you're sweating into them a lot down the gym, or if you're caught in a sudden thunderstorm. You can even rock them in the shower if you want to jam to a bit of Chesney Hawks while you're scrubbing your back. And even the case itself is actually IPX4 splash resistant as well. Very posh. I found that the OnePlus Buds Pro were perfectly comfortable to wear for, at least sort of 4 to 5 hours at a time. Then I started to get a bit of ear fatigue after that. Helped along by the fact that obviously, it helps you to find the right size of rubbery tip. They're nice and discreet once they're in there. They don't jut out massively or anything like that. The stems are quite short as well, unlike the ridiculously long AirPod ones, so that's always a bonus. And I did find I occasionally just had to sort of push them back into place if they started to drift out a bit, probably because the sheer amount of hair I've got grown out of my ears now. Thank you, body and general aging. But at no point was I ever worried about them coming flying out of my lug holes, even during the most intense motion sessions, and you know what's coming. Now the OnePlus Buds Pro have Bluetooth 5.2 support. I found that pairing up with your smartphone, piece of pie, just basically open up the lid, you've got a little button there, give that a push, and the two will be paired up in seconds. And every time you whip the buds on out and stick them in your lug holes from there on out, it's just immediately paired with your smartphone, no issues. I also had no problems whatsoever with that connection stability. I only had a couple of little judders when I was in a very busy London Bridge station. Apart from that, flawless. Now the OnePlus Buds Pro do work best with a OnePlus smartphone, but you can set up and customize these True Wireless Earbuds using the Hey Melody app if you don't use a OnePlus blower. Now one of the more unique features you'll find in that Hey Melody app is the Zen Mode Air tool, and basically this can help calm you down when everything is going batshit mental by piping white noise directly into your skull. You got a decent wee selection of relaxing audio to choose from straight out of that Oppo Relax app, including some lovely seasidey shenanigans and gentle forest f***aboutery. Although I wasn't really a fan of that nighttime camping one, which actually kind of got me all worked up with all these random owl hootings and what I swear to God was the sounds of a serial killer stalking through the darkness, just ready to gut me like a guppy. Now the OnePlus Buds Pro do support auto pause when you pluck one of the buds from your ears. Always handy if somebody just starts suddenly talking at you unexpectedly. Did find it didn't always work, though occasionally the music or audiobook or whatever would just continue playing annoyingly. Hopefully that'll be something that's fixed in a firmware update soon. And also I did find occasionally that because you've got touch controls on the OnePlus Buds Pro, actually just plucking them from your ear and accidentally activate those touch controls as well, so I'd end up skipping forward tracks, doing all kinds of annoying stuff. The touch controls are fairly comprehensive and basically involve squeezing the stem, so to speak. So a quick squeeze will pause or play your music. You can double squeeze to skip forward a track, triple squeeze to skip back a track, and you could also long squeeze the bad boys in order to toggle the ANC on or off. I found that the single squeeze stuff worked absolutely fine, but to be perfectly frank, I just gave up on the multiple squeeze controls because I always managed to f it up. And you can customize these controls within the Hey Melody app, but only to a very limited degree indeed. Now the OnePlus Buds Pro come not just with ANC, but actually smart ANC with 3 different levels to suit all different kinds of noisy scenarios. You've got a faint energy saving setting, which is basically for more ambient environments where there's not much clamour going on. And then you've got the standard mode and then the maxed out extreme mode for when you're traveling or somewhere really incredibly noisy, like, a friggin' soft play area. And the OnePlus Buds Pro can actually automatically switch between the different modes to suit whatever environment you're in. And I did find it tended to boost up to that extreme mode when needed. For instance, waltzing along down a high street or, sat on a train next to some twat in a suit boasting to his videos made about how big his bloody bonus was. And if you want to, you can manually change up the ANC level in the Hey Melody app, but thankfully I found I didn't really have to touch that ever. But is the ANC actually any good? Well, yeah, I found on the whole I was quite happy with what I was hearing on the OnePlus Buds Pro. The fact that I was actually hearing my music on my audiobook and not all the crap going on all around me. They're not quite as good as the best of the best out there, the likes of the Sony WFs for instance, but of course those are considerably more expensive than the OnePlus Buds Pro. Overall, definitely more comparable to the likes of the Beats Studio Buds or the Huawei FreeBuds 4. So yeah, you get a good dampening of everything going on around you. Certainly in a really noisy area, I could still listen to a podcast or an audiobook without having to bump the volume right the way up. And thankfully the wind noise reduction works really well as well, which can be the undoing on quite a lot of True Wireless Earbuds with ANC. You do get a little bit of feedback when you're moving at pace or when it gets proper breezy, but nothing too troublesome. There was only one occasion I got weird buzzing in the right bud every time the wind picked up. It kind of sounded like I had a bloody bee trapped in there, but thankfully I took the bud out, put it back in the case and then reinserted it in my ear, and touch wood, it was then fine and the problem hasn't reoccurred. Now the OnePlus Buds Pro sport 11mm drivers, definitely quite impressive considering the size of the buds themselves, and the audio quality is strong. Don't go expecting, you know, crazy bass or anything like that. The audio quality is definitely comparable to the likes of the Huawei FreeBuds and the Samsung Galaxy Buds as well. You know, and get some of the finer details trickling through on more complex tracks, but overall, I would quite happily rock these every single day for, you know, enjoying a good bit of rock, metal, EDM, whatever. And on that app, you can find OnePlus's Audio ID tool, which can analyze your hearing by testing you with various frequencies and then tweak the output to suit your own lugs, boosting any elements that you would struggle to hear because you went on a few too many raves as a young'un. I definitely did find this made a difference, albeit quite a small difference overall. You've also got full Dolby Atmos support here on OnePlus Buds Pro as well for enjoying supported content. Now it's a triple mic setup here on the OnePlus Buds Pro, which is used for that ANC and also to pick up on your voice whenever, you know, you're making a call. I found I had no troubles with that whatsoever either. Even, you know, a fair bit of background noise, I found that my voice came through loud and clear. Certainly didn't have to shout to make myself heard, which was always good. As for battery life, well, OnePlus reckons you'll get 5 hours of use if you've got that ANC turned on, otherwise around 7 hours with the noise cancellation knocked off, and I found that was actually pretty much bang on. So not as good as some rivals like the Sennheiser CXs or the Cambridge Audio Melomanias, but still, you know, pretty good as far as True Wireless Earbuds go. Now the case itself will give you roughly 4 full recharges before it also needs a charge. Just slap your buds in there and they'll immediately start powering back up again. You've got the dinky little LED which just gives you a rough indication of when they're charged, when the actual case is running low, etc. Otherwise you can also get a rough estimate of how much battery life you've got remaining inside of that app, but it does knock down in 10% increments, so it's not super accurate. And the actual case itself can be recharged via a good bit of Type-C USB action. You do get a cable bundled in the box. Otherwise, they're also got full support for the Qi wireless charging as well, if you happen to have a wireless charging pad on you. And that's a feature that's still not particularly prevalent at this sort of price point, so that's definitely good to see. So that right there in a nutshell is the OnePlus Buds Pro True Wireless Earbuds, as I say, hitting the UK imminently. I believe you can pre-order them right now for a cost of £139. Got some good features on there, including that smart ANC, which can scale up and down automatically on your behalf, and of course the white noise feature as well, which just helps calm you right the down when needed. So yeah, certainly have no qualms recommending them, especially if you're a OnePlus fan. You've already got a OnePlus smartphone, but at least you've got that Hey Melody app that you can download and use if you don't happen to have a OnePlus blower. So what do you reckon? It'll be great to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Please do poke subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech, and have yourselves a fan-bloody-tastic rest of the week. Cheers everyone, love you.